Flash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.
Hi there, good morning. Welcome back to Prime Morning. It's still News Flash, and really good pleasure to be here and do this on behalf of everyone. Now, we want to start with something very important, which we have been doing every Wednesday. It's a letter to the President on the subject of Galamsey. And we say, Dear Mahama, today we take you to Elmina, where water has become a luxury. For weeks, taps have run dry. Elderly residents, some as old as 72, now roam the town, desperate to find a few liters to survive. Families are forced to rely on sachet water to cook and even to bath. The source of their suffering is illegal mining, polluting the River Pra, choking the Setra Himan headworks with silt. In episode 3 of Dear Mahama, Stop Galamsey, we review how the fight for water in Elmina has become a daily struggle for survival.
Water has become a luxury. For weeks, taps have run dry, and for many here in the central region, even a single bucket of water is a blessing. For hours, 72-year-old Jennifer Dazi waits by the tap, the same one she's visited every morning this week. Sometimes it flows at dawn, and sometimes not at all. She does not leave, because if she does, she will miss the moment it opens. At her age, the search for water has become a daily routine. When the tap fails, she turns to sachet water, 2 sachets to rinse her cassava, 2 more to boil it, each one costing money she does not have. But what choice does she have? Grandma Jennifer's struggle is not hers alone. Across Elmina, hundreds wake up to the same search, buckets in hand, hope in heart. They all say one thing: this suffering must end.
When you wash one, no when you for wash one. Into the Bible, we also na pa on yadan. I'm sure buckets no quite change. So this government is doing well for us or what? Your petrol on your nature. Central region, yellow bread or do. Why are we suffering from water to drink, water to bath? We don't like distance. So please, the man should make everything possible to the water to fall.
With the River Pra heavily polluted by illegal mining, the Setra Himan water treatment plant is struggling to draw enough raw water. The result? Rationing, shortages, and rising frustrations.
No, so let the water flow. That is what we need. Oba and Chebe in Chem with all about. Since she Oba and came with them call about. And then Sunaba, Bokiteba, as a Bokitana, no waiter. Bokitabian, no waiter. For 4 gallons in was a waiter, no waiter, so waiter man. And then Ebasa, a beard, equal, beard. No, why,
We met a man moving from house to house, buckets in hand, searching for water. After several stops, he gave up, bought 3 cedis worth of sachet water, and went home to bath. 6 sachets. That's what it takes for a bath now. He did not want to speak on camera, but his silence said enough.
3 days will be into Mumbali. Every quarter 2 cedis. Pure water 4. No day for what?
Mabina too has not seen the bathroom today. Like many others, she's been waiting since morning, hoping the tap would open, even for a few minutes. Her last proper bath was 2 days ago.
And then watch na bema. Ana pem jare. Me jare ahu machi. Me exercise nti me jare. Me exercise wi an me jare. Ti am ampa no pem jare.
E me ho tete hiando do ya pacho. Me yenye nsu, yengwan, ne yenye bi. Ya hwe ya nya me hina ayefi. O hyehyehye bicycle mi say dem. Why?
Elizabeth manages a small private water business started by her late father. Her home has now become a gathering point for dozens of residents.
Galamsey funo, ona mo wa into normal. Sisensu wide ni odame. So I wonder, otumo in the 3 days about poto day. Nene nyane ye. Friday. Netukla.
I will speak to him directly. President John Dramani Mahama. Central region, we are suffering too much. Yellow blood do. As the Baman Zaman Hinala, your fontoma, and a yellow children. A porto, your porto, Elmina people, we are suffering from water. Please help us.
The people of Elmina are not asking for much, just water to drink, to cook, and to live. They say the promise by governments to stop illegal mining must not remain a campaign promise. It must be action that brings water back to their homes. Emmanuel Divenu, Joy News, Elmina, Central Region.
Welcome back. Well, very worrying times, and it's an issue that will never leave the table. We'll keep talking about it and ensuring that we get our water bodies in the best of shape and our forest also preserved. We will not forget the issue of Galamsey. Every week, we'll be reminding all the stakeholders and all the authorities to continue fighting this canker and ensure that our people are able to get something as basic as potable water. Welcome back to News Flash, and I'm going to go through the newspapers very shortly. But before I do that, let me welcome my guests who are already seated in the studio. And I've got a member of the MPP communication team, Mr. Awal Mohammed. He's here with us. Good morning. Good to have you.
Good morning. Thank you so
Wonderful.
much. Wonderful.
Also got the acting Deputy General Secretary of the Unity Party.
United Party.
Oh, United Party. Wow. United Party. United Party. Yes, the United Party. They are making waves. They've been making waves. They're just about a month old, and already they've been making some inroads and getting ready for 2028. Richard Suma is the acting Deputy General Secretary. And Richard, good morning. Good to have you.
Good morning. Yeah. It's a pleasure to be here once again.
Yeah. The yellow army, isn't it?
Yeah. The yellow army.
But he doesn't wear the yellow.
Oh, just like you also don't wear the blue. Oh my God.
The Deputy General, Executive General of the, Executive Director, Deputy Executive Director of the National Service Authority is also here. Mr. Honorable Hussein Donko is here. He's a former member of Parliament also. And they have been very busy. And finally, we understand the postings of the NSS has been done. And it's been a very, very Herculean few weeks for him. Honorable, good to have you. How's it been?
Nice to be here. Sorry, I got your name wrong. Razak.
Yes.
Razak. As you can see from my face, it's not been an easy one. Thanks to the pressure from Awal and his people. We needed to make sure we beat the November deadline. So as I speak to you now, the first batch of postings have been released, 85,159 out of the 150,000 that's actually class list that was uploaded. Yeah, we still have some few challenges with some of the schools uploading and some of our young men and young women having issues with their data systems, change of name, change of date. Like I was telling you the other time, the new system now, wrong data, it prevents you from going further. So if the date on your Ghana card doesn't match the date from your school, the system instead blocks you, unlike the previous one.
Yeah.
And if there is a change of name in the school and there's a change of name on your Ghana card, it blocks you as well. And that one alone is accounting to over 30,000 of our students in that issue.
Wow.
And
so when somebody has such an issue, how do you resolve it?
So what we did to help in the initial stage, normally you have to go and swear an affidavit, gazettes, go back to NIA for them to print a new card that matches exactly what's in the school. Because some of the cause of some of these things are two issues. One, Awal and myself and Richard were the people who deceived the small boys and girls to do it. The 2020 elections, you remember, most of the people who were registering had just completed secondary school. So the 15, 16, 17 people, just say you are 18 and take the Ghana card and vote. So most of them pushed their age to 18.
But
they've forgotten that their records in the school is different from what is on the Ghana card. Because you go with your continuous assessment form. And when you are writing WASI, you write exactly BEC, what is exactly in the school. So it's the BEC results that goes to the universities. So when you go, they capture that. And you can't put what is on the Ghana card. You put what is on the results. Do you get it? So the school captures that one. So today, when the schools upload their class, because we don't touch the class list anymore. It's the schools that get access and then they fill in all their class lists. So all you do is to enter your Ghana card number as the source code, then the system uses to verify you. And that is where most of them were having the challenge. And then the second group of people were also the guys who WASI results were not good for the university entrance. So they inflated their age to get the 25 to go in as mature students. And they are also the people now in trouble.
So what happens to them?
That is how I've shown you. So you go and swear affidavit.
They have to go to that process before they come to the service.
And gazetting alone takes you like 3 weeks before the publishing, because you have to do 21 days. Then you go back to NIA, they give you a new card that matches what is in the school. What we did to actually kind of ameliorate the problem was to bring all these groups into our office. So affidavit, gazettes, and then the Ghana publishers, and then NIA were all in our office for, I think, over 10 days. At a reduced rate. And then instead of the 3 weeks, they were doing it for 7 days, 1 week publishing. And even that, this was the number we got. So as I speak to you now, 91,000 have been able to actually go through the system, but they've not completed yet. But 85,000 are the people who have successfully gone through the registration.
And this includes students from the university, from nursing training?
No, nursing training, teacher training were posted earlier.
They have it already been posted?
Yes, they have already been posted. They are even doing their services now. Yeah, so this is just the universities and the technical universities.
Interesting. Well, that's it. If you've been posted, and we'd love to hear from you. Now you're going to see people's postings, and people are now you're going to get the text messages and the calls.
It's not be easy at all.
Razak, let me just commend them for doing it, because I was pessimistic that they will be able to.
You should have brought me Nama from Kumasi. There's Aswasi joint.
End of October, you remember on his show, he mentioned that by the end of October they will be able to do that. If you're looking at the challenges that they went through, the minister had to come in, the software had to be changed, and all these bottlenecks. And if they are able to do it within the scheduled time, let me commend them that they have done well. All we hope to see is that there will not be further challenges, just like we saw with the school postings, the senior high school postings. But for this one, let me commend them, because I said the earliest they could do that, I said, was in December. I didn't even say November. The earliest they could do that, looking at the challenges, we should have been in December, and it will disrupt the calendar. I mentioned that, but now at least it's just only 1 month late, because usually it's done in September, but now in October, I think they've really done well. So kudos.
I mean, as the last time you gave us an update on the training.
Yes.
You mentioned about.
So as I speak to you now, over 10,200 have opted for the military training. Another 10,300 plus also opted for the agric project sites.
Okay.
Just that the agric project sites, we need to do a lot of sieving there because most of the humanities students want to come there. And we actually want the technical agric colleges guys there. Luckily, the president and the minister of agric have instructed that we mop up all the colleges of agric graduates in the system now who are unemployed. So we are picking them on board as volunteers for NSS.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Then they are the ones who will be deploying to almost all our agric sites, all our farms. That is what is going to happen.
So they will do voluntary service?
Yes.
They will be. No, they will be
pay them.
You compensate them.
Yes,
no,
pay them.
It's been like there. Okay. Voluntary service has been.
So we will be rolling them over as and when agric ministry is also creating vacancies, then it's assimilating them gradually. Then we'll be rolling them over. Then those who complete, then they fill in. So now the president and the agric minister's strategy is that no agric students has to be idle in the house.
Wow.
They will be.
That's the strategy they want.
Well, we want to feed the country, so why not? Yeah, so why not? Why not? I think we need to visit one of the
target
farms.
now is from the, and now 50,000 broilers is finished.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we are sold out.
Wow. Wow.
But it's affordable, so
we are sold out. So now the 20,000 layers, the first 5,000 that came, they have started dropping. And then the 15,000 are also almost on the verge of hitting they are now 15 weeks. So from next week going, it will be 16, and they will be preparing them to also start dropping.
Interesting. So that's the update from the National Service Authority and what they've been up to. Let me just go through the newspapers quickly, and we'll get into the issues we want to deal with. The Finder has the National Development Planning Commission raises concern over concentration on investment in Accra. Interesting. And frequent damaged currency replacement costs falls on taxpayers. Analyst. That's according to an analyst. And respect CD to make economy strong and resilient. That's the finance minister. And yesterday, the CD 60th anniversary of the CD celebration was done at the conference center. We'll see how that works out.
So and is almost older than all of us.
Yeah.
It's older.
Then the Inside newspaper has Youth Factor Elevate MPP's Brian in Ashanti. And Palestine seeking Ghana's leadership, guided by African Liberation Spirit for Justice. Egypt ready to partner and support Ghana's Eco Technical Institute. And U.S. President Trump chooses war over diplomacy in Caribbean is also here. There's one story I'll like to pick the thoughts of Awal on very shortly. Ayini undermining justice. Afenyo Markin says Akufo-Addo rallies Africa to ditch aid, and Bolare and Jocelyn Dumas fund gold ball jewelry, and Samira storms Central. She started the campaign yesterday, and at the CD at 60 celebration, the vice president was there. On the Ghanaian Times newspaper, the vice president was there, and she said, let's sustain stability. Let's sustain stability, she says. And also, yesterday, the president visited the family of the former First Lady, Nakunedo Agyemang-Rawlings, and was there with the wife to commiserate with them. And then Ghana will forever remain part of me. That's the Lebanon ambassador there. It appears he is leaving, so he is, making some comment there. But this is the final one, the Accra Times, and this is what I want to hear the thoughts of my colleagues on. Paul Afoko seeks to lead MPP again. Paul Afoko is back and is looking to lead the MPP again. And as chairmanship race heats up. So it's interesting, if you look at the faces in the chairmanship race of the MPP, Esla Usu is there, John Boedu is there. Esla is General Secretary, I beg your pardon. Esla is General Secretary. Esla is General Secretary. John Boedu we know is there. Asabi we know is also interested in that race. quite a number of people are interested in it. And Paul Afoko is the latest to add his name to it. So he is there. He announced it on his statement, through a statement. Yesterday was on his Facebook page and a few of his other channels. And it's an interesting development, really, really interesting and major development. And I just want to get your thoughts on this one, and maybe Richard, you can come in, because there are comments that your party are unhappy with this development because, you know, quite interesting comment. I'm sure you know what I'm referring to, but we'll get into it. Wow, there's a major development in your party.
Yes, I think it's a welcoming news looking at his experience, what he has done for the party over the time, over the years and so on. As you rightly mentioned, that people were expecting that at least because of his allegiance with Alan Tremantin and so on, at this point
he would ditch the party.
People may have think he will ditch the party, but whilst in Bolga doing his farm, I know that he was pulling some strings for the party in the 2024 elections. And, so I am not surprised that he has really...
but if you look at the individuals now who have shown, declared the intention to contest position of national chairman, I mean, this is going to be a very interesting contest.
That's true, because you see, in the initial stages, you will see that John Boadu has distinguished himself.
Then Boakye Jacko came into the
street fight between him and Chama Wontumi, who has also expressed interest. Then Boakye Jacko came. We were asking whether it's a 3-horse race. Now Paul Akufo-Addo is in the race, even though Asabi has also declared his intention, but because he had contested and lost before, so you may be able to really situate him within a context. But for these personalities, the only person who is coming back is Paul Afoko, and we know the reason Paul Afoko couldn't really complete his 4-year tenure. So definitely he's also coming in as kind of a fresh person. So it is Boakye Jacko, John Boadu, who has run through the mill up to General Secretary level, and you have Paul Afoko coming in, you have
Chama Wontumi in there.
Chama Wontumi, who has also been,
he's interested.
he's also in the race.
Wow.
So it tells you that the party is poised to win the 2028 elections. Boakye Jacko was contesting for the presidential candidate when he went and met the constituency chairman in Ashanti.
And they told him they want him to come and lead
the party, and he had accepted it, and he is now contesting. Looking at the personalities, it only tells you one thing, that the MPP is poised to win the 2028 elections with a strong leadership. We have always maintained that in the last elections, we entered into that elections with a very weak national executives, because you had your national chairman who was almost indisposed. At a point in time, he had to even abdicate it and give it to someone to take over. The person who took over was on air to have said that, well, they didn't do anything, so they should all be sacked. Then he took over as acting national chairman. So you can tell that indeed the party faced challenges with leadership paralysis, if you like. So now, looking at the individuals expressing interest, and I know a lot more will come, not the chairmanship, because I don't expect anyone to join the chairmanship again, except but the general secretary...
It's another very interesting area, isn't it? I mean, look at the faces that have shown up for the position of general secretary.
Yes.
It becoming maybe the two offices. I think even the national organizer position is another interesting race.
Yes, so let me just... If you check the national organizer position, still I expect some people to still join the race. I still expect some people to join.
Let me bring Richard in. He hasn't spoken yet. Richard, as United Party, when you see this development in the party that you're ostensibly looking to take their position as the biggest opposition, these are interesting developments in the party.
Well, first of all, I'm sure we have started the show, so let me say good morning to your cherry viewers, say good morning to my co-panelists, I call them brothers, and then to the entire fraternity of the United Party and to the people of Whole Central constituency. It's a good morning to all of you. Well, you see, for the likes of me, I've always maintained that I've never been a member of the New Patriotic Party. I am a political observer. We've observed Ghanaian politics over the decades, and at some point we decided to participate in the political ecosystem, for which reason we made ourselves available for leadership, and at some point we decided to join Alliance for Revolutionary Change, and to partner with the Honorable John Alanko-Jochre to go into the last election, for which reason, yes, MPP lost, NDC won, but at least everybody participated into that call, that was everywhere. Everybody wanted some change, everybody wanted something. So for the likes of me, I'm a realist, so I don't really have any problem if MPP is able to organize their house well, because I believe in competition, I believe in fairness, I believe in doing what is right. And if you do what is right and you position yourself for the people to get attracted to you, so be it. So for me, I always say that Ghana is made up of, let's say, 33 million people. Let's just use that data roughly. If, assuming we have about 17 million people who are on the electoral register, and MPP is able to garner, let's say, 4 million, 5 million votes, MDC garners about 6 million votes, that means there's a chunk of people out there who are still on the register, but they never belong to the right or belong to the right. They are in the center looking for something to hold on to. So for me, I wish MPP well. It is important they do their things well. You see, it is only a weak person who always wants their enemies to fall. I don't believe in that ideology. In as much as we are in competition, so it is not supposed to be we praying, going on our knees praying every day for MPP to get more fragmented. No. If others pray for so, I cannot go on my knees and do such a prayer. Because I believe that if you want to go into a fight with the best of the best. Don't go and be fighting the weak ones and think we have won a fight. So if MPP prepare themselves, NDC prepare themselves, we are also doing our best, as I said, just to contribute to the political ecosystem. And if Ghanaians believe in the United Party and they feel that you have something to offer, because don't forget, though we have political parties upon which presidents or individuals contest, they use those parties as a vehicle to run for the office of the president. So, for instance, Bawumia is roaming around seeking the mandate of the NPP fraternity to contest on the ticket of the NPP. So don't forget that when we are going to the election, we are going into the election with whoever is the front runner of the party. Okay, so for instance, John Dramani Mahama, the Excellency, today ran on the ticket of NDC and is the president, okay? But the NDC as a party cannot determine to Mahama what he should do and what he shouldn't do. Because he is the president. The power is vested in the president, not the NDC as a political party. Are you getting my analogy?
Yes.
So if we are going into the 2028 election, it's about the individuals who we are presenting to the country that these are the potential people to replace John Dramani Mahama. Are you with me? So if the people believe in the personality Alanko-Jochre, assuming without admitting that we make him our flag bearer in the 2028 election, then that means we are presenting Alanko-Jochre as a candidate, as an individual. While they also bring either Bawumia or bring Ken, whilst NDC also bring whoever they are bringing. Are you with me? So sincerely, this is how we should be looking at our politics, not going for politics of just sycophancy and fanaticism and fundamentalism. That cannot help in politics. That cannot help in our democracy. Let's go for substance and value. So if Olafoko has over the years demonstrated credibility, integrity, for which reason he feels that, yes, I've been treated unfairly, but now that that amnesty has been granted, that all of us should come back home. And I'm coming back home to fight for what I lost or what was taken away from me, because sincerely, he never lost an election. That position was actually taken away from him. They took it away from him. So if you feel that he still stands a chance of coming back, why not? It's in the right direction. But like I said, we are only marketing the United Party to the people of God and country that chooses above the right and above the left. But as a matter of fact, whoever is contesting to become the chairman of the New Patriotic Party or to become the general secretary of the New Patriotic Party, sincerely as a United Party, that has nothing to do with us.
Did your party at any point engage Mr. Paul Afoko to join your fold?
No, I don't think so. Maybe if something of that has happened, perhaps I'm not privy to it. But I only know that the Alan, as affable as he is, Alan has always maintained that he doesn't have any challenge with the NPP. His challenge has been with the leadership, a crop of leadership of the party. And even today, some of the things he raised, some of the grievances, nobody can downplay, nobody can say that even in their present context, some of these same issues are not raising their ugly heads. Are you getting my point? But anybody who believes in conviction than convenience, I take it as an Ankojo, because if he was doing politics of convenience, he would have still stayed with NPP, good or bad, because if he stays within the party, if they win, he will share the booty with them together. But a man who believes in conviction, who believes that there must be a radical change in the way we run politics. There must be a radical change as to how we wage a war against poverty. There must be a radical change as to how we can be able to revolutionize our economy, how we can have a buoyant economy, how we can have an economy that is self-dependent and self-sufficient. He believes that he has something significant to offer, for which reason he exited the party to form the movement, and now the movement has transitioned into what? A fully fledged political party. So I sincerely believe that he is a man of conviction, but not a man of what? Convenience.
He exited after he lost elections. He did not exit just like you are saying.
That's what I'm saying.
That after he lost the election.
That's what I'm saying. That some of the
So how is that a conviction? He stayed for 7 years as a cabinet minister.
He mentioned.
Then after he went to an elections and placed third. When he has been placing second over time, then he felt that he will want to leave. So how is that politics of convenience? It is a politics of convenience, because he came with Adru, and he placed third. He feels that if he goes again, he will be disgraced. So he decided to exit.
No.
That's the reason he went there alone.
Out of order. You are my beloved brother. That is completely out of order. Because you see, the issue is that when you go into contest, when you go into content, that is why I still insist that if we think that we shouldn't even divorce our wives or divorce our husband based on the fact that we went to took a vow that for better, for worse, but we still go ahead and divorce them if we think there is something untoward happening that we are not satisfied with. So Alan insisted that there are certain things happening within the leadership of the party, and there were some machinations, a lot of shenanigans. So it is not about whether he lost before he hesited, because you can never know.
It's the case, you know.
All right, let me bring on number 6.
So that it's a fact.
What you make of all of these developments in the FDP? Look at the face that are resurfacing. Of course, as far as your party leadership is concerned, we know, and interesting, and I have to bring this up because the national coordinator of the DRIP project, Nilante van der Poy, he has indicated that he wants to become national chairman of your party. At least he was asked and he disclosed it.
Yeah.
Not to comment on that, but you're looking at the faces that are emerging, to lead the MPP as an NDC member. What's going through your mind? Do you think yes? Or what's going through your mind? Because if we monitor the commentary from your party going into the 2024 election, the impression was that the leadership of the MPP at the time, in quotes, some said was weak. Some said it could not match up to the leadership at your party. Do you think this is...
Yeah, so let me say good morning to your viewers and wish your wonderful producer, Sheila, a happy birthday.
Hey, today is Sheila's birthday.
Okay.
Oh. Madam Sheila, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
For me, I kind of sympathize with my brother, Paul Afoko. Because you see, as an antelope, you don't expect justice in the court of lions.
Right? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. And I got it, and I'm waiting for the...
Whatever chased him out of the MPP is still in control of the MPP. Now they are even strategizing in such a way that it is the flag bearer who will choose his executives.
That's not the case.
Oh. What is going to happen is that they are going to elect the flag bearer first. Is that not it?
Yes.
And if you don't align with the flag bearer, will you be elected as a...
Cannot win.
But is the delegate who will elect the flag bearer?
When they had to do the constituency branch, constituency, regional and national, it was those who are for Nana that were voted for.
I mean, inevitably, the flag bearer will have interest in who will occupy. Inevitably. It's everywhere.
Are not mutually exclusive.
But it's common.
Every flag bearer is very much interested in the executives that controls his party.
Exactly. That's just the point I agreed with.
Do you understand?
Yes.
But if this time around they are electing the flag bearer first, what it means is that anybody who is seen as a non-conformist to the flag bearer is out automatically. And you, Polafoko, you are seen as anti-Nana.
But Nana is not going to be the flag.
No, but Nana still controls the party.
How does he control the party?
He has influence, but control is a bit...
He is still in control. If he's not in control, this early Congress thing wouldn't have worked. He's still behind the scenes. It is his cartel that is still controlling the party. Polafoko, you are still not welcome. That is what he must understand. Plain truth to a brother in the north.
They don't know.
He is not welcomed.
He can never
If the moment Bawumia is elected, it is Bawumia that will choose his national chairman. Bawumia will select his general secretary, his organizer, his youth organizer. Then he goes to the region. Every election will be like those who are going to make sure.
But that will imply, based on what you're saying, that will imply that Bawumia is going to tell every delegate, choose this one for, and that's realistically not possible.
Why are we playing the ostrich?
No, but it's not, you know.
Why are we playing the ostrich?
You think Bawumia can tell every delegate?
Bawumia is going to win.
And all the delegates will align.
Bawumia is going to win their primaries. Per the strategies and agendas they put in place, he's going to win. After winning, it is those who can champion and help Bawumia win the election that they are going to select. It's not going to be a fair election.
But it's not a selection. It's
a selection. Once the flag bearer is selected first, the flag bearer selects his executives.
No, but there will be voting. Why do you...
Why was Polafoko sacked in the first place?
And that took place at the National Council.
Why was he sacked?
It took place at the National Council.
Because he was working against Nanado, the flag bearer then.
They suspected so.
And the decision was taken by the NEC, right? But this decision...
So if a new flag bearer comes and says, I can only work with Don Kofuseni, how can Awal be voted for?
But you have to convince the delegate that you...
Convince.
But you have to convince the delegate.
You see, we pretend in Africa we are doing democracy.
You have to convince the delegate.
That is the reality. Polafoko, fine gentleman, disciplinarian. MPP doesn't want discipline now. They want people who will bow to Bawumia.
Okay, interesting. Let's get into the...
Just a minute.
Yeah, just a minute.
I'm saying
that... I'm not rebutting.
Yes, no, I'm not rebutting. It is not really entirely correct that when you say that the choice of the leader will be the choice of the delegates. In the eastern region where Nana comes from, Nana supported Chairman Kojo Boateng against Jeff Kunedu. Jeff Kunedu won against all the big wigs sitting there in the room. Again, when you check the general election, the Congress, where they elected Justin Kodua as General Secretary, Nana was for JB as General Secretary, to the extent that almost all the regional chairmen came to endorse JB. But Kodua won. The MPP delegates are sophisticated enough that even if the choice of if they don't like the choice of the flag bearer, they can still vote. Even when they were electing Kwabena Japan, Polafoko, and so on, Nana didn't like them. They were not Nana's candidates. And they won. You understand? So it is not entirely correct for you to say that because you elect the flag bearer first, then it means you're going to select people who will kowtow to Dr. Bawumia. Looking at the personality that have come, almost all of them are firm people. That's why I told you that looking at the 4 people or 5 people that are contesting, none of them will kowtow to what the flag bearer will tell them. They will make sure that the right thing is done. And that is what we want.
Let's get into the anti-LGBT bill, which the Speaker of Parliament has finally brought finality on the status of it. He says it will have to be reintroduced and will have to start afresh in Parliament. But then there is a group, the Coalition for Proper Sexual Human Rights by lawyer Moses Fuaminin, and they held a press conference yesterday, and they gave the government, Parliament, 2 weeks to start working on the bill. 2 weeks. And if they do not do it in 2 weeks, they said they will hit the streets across the country. Guys, if we still have Moses Fuamani's sound. We can listen to it now.
The National Coalition for Proper Human Sexual Rights and Family Values warned that if Parliament fails to act within its given period, it will announce a series of nationwide actions to demand accountability and protect what it calls the moral foundation of the country. The group's lead convener, Moses Fuamani, insists the bill represents the value and conscience of Ghanaians and should not be reduced to partisan debate.
So if it has been passed, as Honorable Ayariga is saying, then transmit it to the President, let him sign it. If he hasn't, then Mr. President, 10 months is long enough. Let your Attorney General introduce the bill as a public bill. And by the way, so much work was done, so it doesn't need too much. And the current Attorney General was very much involved in the bill that was passed on the 28th of February 2024. So if he's supposed to bring it, all we have to do is bring back the provisions in respect of the care, treatment, and support, and then the flexible sentencing policy, which were removed, and then we are there. So that shouldn't take too long. At most a month, that should be done. So we are holding their feet to the fire.
The coalition also expressed frustration.
Yeah, so that's most 4 minutes. So that was even before the Speaker had given the directive that the bill will have to come back to the floor of the House. Now, what the minority appear to be suggesting is that government is having cold feet, that government might not have the political will to pass this bill. That appears to be what the minority is suggesting. Honorable Alexander Fenyo-Markin, in his commentary, is giving that indication that the NDC government might not pass it. So the question we are asking today is, will government fulfill their promise? Will government have the political will to pass this bill? And why is the opposition feeling the government might not have the political will? All right, let me start with Honorable Fuseni on this one.
Yeah, I think our commitment has been made clear. The president made it clear that, listen, even because he didn't want any excuses, this should be introduced as a, how do we call it, government-sponsored bill, so that there are no excuses of, oh, this will cost the state or of this, no. So that any legalities from anywhere will not come and try to push anything aside. For me, I can understand the impatience, because this is something reprehensible that we all do not even want to talk about. It should be like a taboo that we don't even mention. So, yes, we all are for the law. The president made a commitment that no matter what, this law will go through. Yes, the technicalities, yes, will be a bit confusing to Ghanaians, because why didn't you just reintroduce it again? Yes, the Speaker of Parliament has come to explain that, listen, it died with the 8th Parliament. This is the 9th Parliament. It has to be reintroduced as a fresh bill. Now, government also wants it to be a government-sponsored bill. So that will also, again, take a little bit of tweaking, because it has to change hands. The sponsors are still the same, but now it is government through the Attorney General that is going to lay it.
In fact, the current bill, which has been laid in Parliament,
it has even been laid.
Yes.
As a private member's bill. Yeah, so if it's laid as a private member's bill, then it means government has to adopt it. How is it going to work? You see,
because
the technicalities that we need.
So there was a nuance I was a bit, because the president had indicated that he wants government to sponsor the bill.
That is the point.
But at this point, the private, the members, honorable...
so it could be that they rushed ahead of the Attorney General to do it. Because remember, the Attorney General, on behalf of the Lands and Natural Resources Minister, is the one laying the forest thing.
Yes.
That law, banning the mining in the forest. So it could have been the same thing, the same way that Attorney General would have laid this on behalf of government.
But I think it will continue, because the Speaker did not give an indication that maybe they will allow government to come. I think it will continue as a private member's bill.
Yes, so once the private members have laid it, my confusion now is, how is government going to adopt it?
So government will not adopt
those few educations are the things the minority leader, the majority leader, or the whips should be explaining to us. You see, the politics about it, yes, you are allowed to do the politics.
But at this point, it will not be a government-sponsored bill. It will strictly be a private member's bill. That's how it will go.
So if it goes like a private member's bill, fine, no problem.
Yes.
But my point is, the initial issue was that the cost to the state, who bears it? Do you get it? So now that
has been determined by the Supreme Court.
Excuse me, what I'm trying to explain to you is that, fine, the private members have laid it. Let it flow. Government cannot adopt it as it stands now from the parliament. So it is no more government-sponsored bill. It is the private members' bill that is going through. So if it has been relayed, what is Moses and his people, what is the issue with them? Because if the thing has been relayed, it has to take a time to mature, is that not it? Is it a normal 21 days or is that not it?
Yes, to go to the normal 21 days. So the speaker did indicate that because a chunk of the work had been done in the previous parliament, so he said that just a few things might change in this bill. So when they go through the process, you're not going to have so many removals or corrections here and there. It might flow very smoothly and
but then it still has to do the 21 days.
Yeah, it will do that and end
then
up
it becomes a law.
Yes.
Is that not it?
Yes.
So I don't understand the challenge with Moses Formani and his people, because if the thing has already been laid and he has to go through.
That's why I was saying that at the time, you see, at the time they held this press conference. The position at the time was that the majority leader had indicated that this bill needn't come to Parliament again because it has passed Parliament, and what was remaining was the president to sign to it. Now, they needed the speaker to clarify if indeed that is the status of the bill.
Just push it for him to sign.
Then the speaker came and said, no.
It has to be relayed.
It has to be relayed.
Oh, wow.
You understand? So they did the press conference based on that earlier information. But this is the updated information. I'm sure.
Now it has been relayed.
It has been relayed.
Okay, so the press conference came after before this particular relaying.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So now I get
But they insist that government must show commitment to passing the bill. And if they sense that there's no commitment, they'll hit the streets.
Until it matures and it gets to the president and there is delay, you can't presume anything.
But they are also saying that because there've been bills that have come to Parliament and stay there for a very long time.
No, but this one, after the 21 days, it matures.
But we know how Parliament works. Even the Affirmative Action Bill, it took so many years. The Right to Information Bill, it took so many years.
Listen,
so they are suspecting that if you don't take it, it might delay in the system.
Yeah, I understand the suspicion. But what I'm also saying is that this is something we are all fighting against. So if the 21 days elapse and we see delays, then we can now start holding people's neck. But until then, why are we trying to put the cart before the horse?
Yeah, they are giving you pressure so they know that some people are watching it.
What is the pressure going to do? The thing hasn't matured. If it has matured, or you can give a warning that, listen, if this thing matures, we don't want any delay, fine, I don't have a problem. But now it was presented as if, when I was even listening to that, it was as if the thing has not even been laid at all. That was how I was even thinking.
But I give you warning. They're just telling that we are monitoring the process. If there's any, hold up anywhere.
I endorse their warning.
I mean, United Party, what's your position on this?
No, every party abounds this.
No, but we need to hear.
Well, for us, if you look at the great transformational plan that Alan meticulously put together, don't let us make mockery of certain things in this country, because sometimes when you see something, Awal want to...
When you said great transformational plan, that
was the correlation. Yes. If you see the plan, it has something that talks about behavioral and attitudinal change. And they say, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. We have been gallivanting left, right, front, center, both from the Christendom to the Islamic community, creating the impression that, yes, we love God, we believe in God. God is the standard that for which we are using to measure ourselves. So as a people who believe in this, and we cannot pursue a call for us to pass a bill that will bring back our moral fiber that is completely going into abyss, because the society's moral fiber is decaying. And we are creating the impression that human rights and so forth and so on, everything should be welcome into this country. That is unacceptable. So the NPP, for instance, don't have a locus to talk about the bill as it stands now. They don't have it because the bill went through Parliament. And don't forget, we must also encourage private member bills. We need to encourage that because Ghana is the only country where we don't encourage private member bills. And we should do so most often so that some of the things shouldn't be government proposition or government stand on some of the things. It should be private individuals who should be able to move some of these things in parliament for it to be enacted, to become laws. So now, if the 8th parliament, private members' bill was put to the House, and it was debated, and it was passed in the House of Parliament, transmitted to the executive to append your signature and ratify it and make it a law, and you didn't do that, why then turn around and come and put pressure on another government? Because you had a clear chance to pass that, to sign it, to append your signature, it becomes law. We act upon it, but the president declined that he's not going to append his signature. He's not going to assent to it.
He made a point that he was being held up by an injunction that had been filed.
No. That was why have the president not taken the issues that were already before the court of law? And the speaker is telling you that yes, they wrote to them declining that they are not going to assent to you, but the reason for which they declined to assent was not provided. Didn't you hear the speaker say so? So what is this issue of the fact that something, you see, we are in this country all together. Don't think that those who have the law certificates, those who have the degrees and certificates in medicine and all these things, who are more intelligent than the cocoa seller or the watch seller on the street. So don't ever underestimate the cocoa seller or the watch seller or the shoe shine. Don't underestimate them. But this same issue, they are telling us that, oh, the issue is before the court of law. Our issue not before the court of law, but the president is still able to decide on what should be done and what shouldn't be done. So we shouldn't be hoodwinked into believing that that was the reason for which it was not. It was because your hands were tied. Your hands were tied to the West. The West are the ones giving you the condition that if you don't do this, we are not going to aid you again. We are not going to give you a dime. So that was the reason, the primary reason, because that time the Ghana's economy was already crumbling. So the reason be that if we are not careful and we go and pass this what do we call it?
LGBT bill.
LGBT bill, we are going to worsen our situation forever.
But that threat still exists.
It exists.
Yes.
It existed from Professor Mills' days, and it exists today, and it will exist in perpetuity.
So with that threat, do you think this government...
That is why we are looking for the president with the balls to be able to assent to it when it comes to him. So even now that it has been relayed to the parliament, it's going to be debated, or it's going to be, they will take some and add something. That notwithstanding, we are waiting till the day it gets to the table of the president. That is where we'll be able to know whether NDC itself really has the moral tenacity to pass such a bill.
Do you think they have it? Do you think the president will sign it?
I am tempted to believe that the president, John Dramani Mahama, and in his last year or in his last moment of leading us, should be able to take such radical decisions and damn the consequences. So I will expect him to be able to assent his signature when he gets to his table.
What about this concern that some have raised that, especially we had a group also came out which were clearly against the bill, saying that, look, these issues have to do with people doing their business in their bedroom. Why should the country prioritize such an issue when the country is plagued with myriads of challenges?
Let me ask you a simple question.
Why should this be the priority?
Respectfully, I'm not advocating for anything, but do you know the number of youth who are in Sawan prisons for holding a small piece of ganja? Do you know? Is that not their fundamental human right as well? Are they not doing the comfort of their homes and in their privacy?
The ganja.
No, let us speak truth to power.
Yeah.
Is that not the case? But why are you arresting them? You arrest them because you think that there's something they are doing which is fundamentally wrong, and it will harm them and it will harm bypassers. Therefore, you arrest them and detain them there. Are you getting my point? So anybody who brings any argument or they are doing it in their bedroom or doing it wherever, the person is saying something that he's so delusional about. It's delusional. Because you see, we are trying to build a society that will build a moral fiber. A fiber that will be able to tell the next generation to come that, look, God created man and woman. Okay? Finito. Why are dogs, a male dog and a male dog not having sex together? Why is the he-goat and the she-goat not having sex together? Why are animals not doing that? And human beings, as learned as we think we are trying to create the impression that we determine what is good for us, what is not good for us. Then why are we selective in this issue? Why are we being selective? So those who are doing that advocacy, that, oh, it is human rights here and there, so you have the people's fundamental right, because we are building a society that we are supposed to bequeath to the next generation.
But they also make the argument, and I'll come to you, Awal, briefly on this. They also make the argument that you're talking about building a certain society here in Ghana, and the society, the very conduct you abhor, all right, is found in other societies where you constantly patronize.
But is that
so they ask the question that, are you not being hypocritical?
No. When you go to Rome, do what the Romans do. So if I go to US and the US claim they love homosexuals, they love lesbians, and I go and I feel that I'm comfortable with that zone, I stay there. I stay there. But when you come to Ghana, where even the traditionalists, some of them who are traditionalists, don't even believe and support such, I don't know how to classify it, but we cannot support that. Okay? So the issue is that is why build a country that will make you self-sufficient and self-dependent, be on your feet. When you're on your feet, you don't need to be controlled by anybody or any external forces determining to you what you should do and what you shouldn't do. My only challenge with that bill, I want to state it here on record, is that I disagree with incarceration. I disagree with custodial punishment, that we arrest them, or they say even if you are advocating for it, you are complicit and you should be arrested, and when you are arrested, you are detained at Insawan. For who should be feeding you?
So what should happen then?
My belief is that when you are found guilty or culprit of any of such things, we should wear you an electronic anklet, okay? Brand you very well, and parade you for what?
Firing squad.
Not firing squad. We are going to use you for non-custodial sentences. We will parade you at circle, all the gutters you are supposed to be cleaning it, all the places that they have been deplored, all the deplorable places, we parade you there and brand you. I am a gay, I am a lesbian, and I'm telling you not to follow me.
But what's the
human rights?
So what's the someone who asked?
It is about shame. The shame associated with it is what we must work on. So when you do,
only change the person.
That's what I'm saying. That it's about perception. I'm only saying perception because look, let me tell you, there are a lot of people in the prisons already, and you know, in our male prisons already, this homosexualism is already grievously happening in ourselves.
Yeah, because that's a very valid argument. Because that's a very valid argument. Because you say, for instance, the person is arrested, you take the person to prison.
He's even going to indoctrinate others more in the prison.
And in the same vein, if you parade him to go and do clean gutters, he's down with gutters.
At least you will be monitoring them. You put them under monitoring for at least a period of 5 years.
So even the president, when he was talking about, the bill will have to be passed, also raised a very valid argument about all agencies of socialization intensifying their work, so that this does not even
educate. Education is key.
Even come up in the first place.
Education is key. You must educate. But you see, education alone is not sufficient enough. That is why you must add some punitive measures.
Okay, let me
But the punitive measures should not be arresting and putting at Insawan. But look at our streets. You see, that is what, look, even in America, civilized countries, when there are some crimes, when you commit them, they don't imprison you. They put you for non-custodial sentence, community service.
Well, let me come to you. You heard Richard, he says your party...
So how is their behavioral change is key?
You have no locus to talk about this because he had an opportunity to pass it and he did not pass it.
Let me turn around to be crying wolf.
I see his confusion because, you see, the... private members bill, the law that brought in the private members bill was passed under Akufo-Addo. It's an Akufo-Addo legacy. Before 2020, you couldn't have pushed any private members bill in this country. So at least that is the first instance of at least telling you that we are ready to create a very good society for the people of this country. So we have that one. I see the confusion in Honorable Fuseni Donko's submission that he couldn't even make a very coherent...
Why did he say so?
Yeah, because you see, in 2024, he was in Kumasi on radio station saying that a vote for Dr. Bawumia is an implementation of LGBTQ in this country. They said all these things. And it was part of the reasons they won the elections. They said when they come, they will pass the law and make sure that at least Ghana is safe. You remember in February, we sat in this studio, and when the president met the clergy and told them that it will be sponsored by government, but there are some other things within it that he feels that will be able to change them and so on, then I felt that the president will not be able to do that. You did the story for me. Here, I said that the president will never pass this law. Because you see, in 2024, when you were asking us to do it, you said there is nothing wrong with it. We can pass it. If there is any law in this country that has really been extensively gone through the mill, this is this law. Yes. From 2021, to the extent that for 3 months, there were presentations by the clergy and everybody, including those who are opposed to it, in Parliament. And it was covered live. They did all these things and were able to bring out a document. And they said President Akufo-Addo should assent to it. Those days, I was on record to have said that I will be happy if Akufo-Addo does it, and I will be disappointed if he didn't do that. Because we are all against it. Even though there were some legal challenges and so on, I had wished he had done it. Even at the time when he lost the elections, when we lost the elections and he was going, and there was a Supreme Court ruling that indeed he could sign it, I expected him to sign at that time. I even expected him to sign at the eve of his handing over, because I knew that definitely this government will not be able to do it. The president said that now they will withdraw it. It has ended, and they will sponsor it as a government-sponsored bill. For the last 10 months, the government has not taken any step to do that. That is the reason Sam George and his colleagues last week said that they have been waiting for some time. And the government is not doing it, so they are still sending it back as a private member's bill. They sent it to Parliament, it passed through the mill, got to first reading. Then there was pressure from Jubilee House to withdraw it, and it was withdrawn. Wow. That day, you reported the story. It was withdrawn that day, and that precipitated the
what you are saying now.
I'm coming.
Correlate?
The speaker came later.
Goodness.
Then you didn't even read the story. That's why I said that he couldn't make coherent thought on it.
No, coherent is like an abusive thing you are using.
Okay, so I'm sorry, but I'm saying that on last week, it went through Parliament, went through gazetting, went through everything, and it got to first reading. And it was removed from the order paper. And that made Mahama Yarga came to address the press and said that it has been passed already. So we don't need to read it and redo the law again. And that was the reason yesterday, Speaker had to come with the clarification to say that Mahama Yarga was wrong. We will have to start it, and they should relay it so that at least it will be done. So what I'm saying is that
just a bit, guys. Please get me the parts of the Speaker of Parliament when he was, speaking on this very subject. If you can get me forward it and get me that part. So listen.
Exactly.
To Speaker.
So now Speaker came to rebut what Mahama Yarga did with the press. What Mahama Yarga said that remove it from the order paper because it has been passed already. Then Reverend Ntim Fojo stood in Parliament and said that no, we'll have to still, that's why we have relayed it, because we know that indeed it has really elapsed with the old Parliament. So we have relayed for the first reading, second reading, then the passage. Then yesterday, Speaker came to affirm what Reverend Ntim Fojo has said, that indeed now we will have to relay it for the first reading to be done, and the second reading and the passage. There's no way President Mahama will be able to sign this bill. Even if it is get to the reason is that he says that he wants to sponsor it.
Let's hear from the Speaker. Let's hear from the Speaker.
Let him get to his table first.
Guys, if we have the son of the Speaker.
If he gets to his table, I believe he has to sign. He will sign it.
Let's hear from the Speaker now.
With the 8th Parliament. And so we have a new Parliament, the 9th Parliament. And therefore, what was pending there came to an end and had to be reintroduced. So the 9th Parliament, on resumption, took back the bill, and as you recall, that's a private member's bill. And so members of this House took it up. They've gone through the whole process as detailed out in our standing orders. But as it went through the process, the new government indicated that they wanted to take it as a public bill. I personally disagreed. I made it known to His Excellency the President that this is an initiative of our people, the traditional leaders, the religious leaders, civil society leaders. Ghanaians wanted this bill passed through private members' bill. And so be it. We will process it as private members' bill.
The Speaker of Parliament will now go through the motions and take a decision on some of the matters on his desk as the administrative head of Parliament. And then ultimately, this will come before Parliament for...
Yeah, so that was the Speaker there.
Is it not clear now?
Yeah.
So the clarity here is that when the President in February... I'm coming.
Jubilee House
I'm coming.
insisted they withdraw it. But
I'm coming.
Have you seen the clarity?
I'm coming. I'm saying that in February, when the President said he wanted to relay it, the Speaker is saying that he told the President that no, don't pick it as a government-sponsored. And that leave it as this. Again, when they relayed it last week, this is a fact. That's the reason he brought in this ruling. They relayed it last week. Mahama Yarga addressed the press, stood in Parliament and said that they should withdraw it. And they withdrew it. He stood in Parliament and the opposition also stood in Parliament, including some of the government people, including some judges, others said that indeed the bill ended with the last Parliament, so they are reintroducing it. Mahama Yarga said, no, you shouldn't reintroduce because it has been passed. Now the Speaker brought in the clarity that indeed it is a private member's bill that has ended with the last Parliament.
And you are suspecting that the reason why Mahama Yarga took that position is because they don't want to pass it?
That's true. Yeah, that is the case. That's what I'm saying that. But you said that you take it as a government. In February, when you met the clergy, when the President met the clergy, he said, we want to sponsor it as government sponsors bill. Then 10 months up to now, you've not really done anything about it. Then the private members, including people who are cabinet ministers, because some judges part of those who relayed it last week. They did that, then the majority leader asked them to remove it on the order paper, and they removed it. Then that day, it was not him. It was not the Speaker of Parliament who was presiding. It was the First Deputy. First Deputy. So the First Deputy allowed it to be removed. And that was the reason the Speaker had to come with a clarity to say that indeed, relay it again. Because there must be first reading, second reading, and a passage.
But yesterday, the majority leader gave the clearest indication they are willing to support it. They are willing to get the bill done and pass it. You said they will pass it.
There's no commitment by this government to do it. The reason being that because
says the person who ran away.
Because the president in February said, I want to sponsor it. And for 10 months, he has not sponsored it. You understand? And the president is also even telling us that
why do you think they will not want to sign it?
Because the president said it's not even necessary. We'll have to make sure that we're able to really teach our children these things and so on. Then we didn't even need a law. You remember? the video is there. The president, when he met the clergy, he mentioned it.
He said that as part of the bill, we should also prioritize teaching.
Exactly. I'm saying that. The president, even when he met the clergy and said that they want to sponsor it, mentioned that there were some things within it that they will want to change. Then the question is, when you were on President Akufo-Addo's neck to sign, these were things that were in and you wanted him to sign. There were things that were not right and you wanted him to sign. Again, the president telling us that we should prioritize teaching our children these things and so on. You remember when comprehensive sexual education was deliberated on? You heard what they said in this country? That we want to even teach children how to do homosexuality in the schools. How did they even win North? They used it to win elections. And today, 10 months, you're saying that you sponsor, you have not sponsored. And the private members are sponsoring it, including a cabinet minister. and you caused it to be withdrawn until the speaker had to come with a clarity. That's why I'm saying that I don't see any way that this president will be able to pass this thing.
Interesting. Honorable Seni, you have some intervention to make.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to confuse everybody and lead us on a wild goose chase because everything he was alluding to here has been disputed by the...
But he makes a very profound point that the president said in February the government will sponsor it.
Yes.
The first session of parliament ended. It never came up.
No. The first session of parliament ended before even this... the previous parliament elapsed.
Yes.
This thing came in the first session of parliament.
It didn't come.
No, it didn't come. It's all last week.
So when this thing came, that the president said would sponsor it as a government bill, and the speaker says no, we have started it as, how do we call
private members bill.
A private members bill. So let it go. Immediately you realize that we all thought, oh, then what is there should just go through. So even the sponsors of the bill themselves thought this was how it was going to work.
That's not true.
So they didn't even push it again.
They did. Last week they pushed it.
You're talking about last week.
He's talking about the first session of parliament. This is the second session of parliament.
So even the second session, he's talking about still the same.
So we are talking about the first session. Why government did not push it in the first session? And he's saying that because the speaker had told the president that they want to move it as a private members bill.
And the thing was still existing there until the second session. They decided to start the reading again. Then the confusion came that, listen, this thing cannot go through because it died with the previous parliament.
So why is that confusion arising? No. Especially when...
That is where... that is why
the Madrid didn't say it died, though. He said it is still in existence.
That's why it was withdrawn. He thought it should...
That's your position as government.
No. What the private members and even the majority leader thought was that this thing has already gone through the process. All we need is to take it back to the president to sign. To assent to, and that was it. Until the speaker educated all of us that no. So it could be that the speaker even told her, listen, you can't let this thing go just like that. Withdraw it and relay it. Because now it's a new parliament you are dealing with. It died with the old one.
We're expecting that it shall be part of the order paper today.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. So when the speaker spoke, he gave clarity to everybody that, oh, so this was the confusion. It wasn't as if he was letting Ghanaians feel that, listen, this thing was laid. Pressure from Jubilee House came and said, no, withdraw it.
That was what happened last week.
But the guy is telling you that wasn't the issue.
But he also raised a concern about what the president said when he met the clergy in February, that the president did indicate that there are certain portions of the bill that they need to do some things about.
That is, if it was being sponsored by government, these are the additions that he thought we should add. But aside even the prosecutions and all the advocacy, that banning and doing those things, let's also add this complementing sexuality, what they were bringing, was to advocate for this particular thing.
You see.
That is why we went against it. Was that the one saying? It was the clergy.
But isn't that the concern? That if the president has some concerns about the bill which he believes they need to make some correction, when it comes to his table, that he might not sign it because of those concerns. And I'm sure those concerns still exist. But at the moment, it doesn't look like the president has changed.
Does he even have a choice? The man says he was even going to sponsor it as a government-sponsored bill. The speaker says no. He says, okay, then go ahead and do it the way you feel is good. Then you say that they will take it to him and he says he will not sign. What will he gain?
What about this point the president raised, which I found also to be very profound, that why not prioritize? Because there are certain people that where they've got
as I speak to you now, back in my days in school, maybe myself and Rachel, you small boys were not yet ready. Back in our days, we were doing life skills. We were doing vocational skills, technical skills.
Education, all those from JH.
Cultural studies was segregated properly. Because within even the cultural studies, there was religion and everything before you even do social studies. From primary to JHSO, life skills, you do needlework, you do...
what was the correlation?
You see, the correlation is that we were teaching our children life. And the skills they will go through. You see, there are ways we were teaching our children to be practical. In cultural studies, we were teaching our children what life means as a boy from CB, a Konkomba boy. This is the way of your people. This is your culture identity. This is how you
prioritize on doing that more and more.
That is what I'm saying. When we came in and started jumbling and trying to turn things around to make our curriculum look at that of the US, look at that of the UK, that was why we created the confusion.
You think we have homosexuals because of our educational system right now?
Exposure and education. When we try to tell them some things are okay because of human rights. Does human rights really make sense? Hey. Human rights, so somebody should just take, like he's saying, ganja on the street and start smoking. When we banned smoking in public places in Ghana, was that human right or not? But you realize that health-wise, he can be smoking. I'm a non-smoker. I'm sitting beside him, and I'm getting the same health hazard that he may not even be getting.
I mean, the question that comes to my mind is, then how is what someone is doing in his bedroom affecting you?
Even if somebody is smoking in his bedroom, you the next door.
We know smoke. We know smoke travels, but how does the intimacy between two people?
So if you are doing it in your bedroom secretly, no problem. No, you are not educating somebody, but when we catch you, you are in trouble.
And that's why when Richard said he disagreed with the advocacy and so on, I have mentioned this. As a publicist, what I know is that what they are doing, what they are seeking to get, has nothing to do with them doing it in public. They want to do the advocacy so that they can get the people. They are running into extinction. Check Ghana AIDS Commission. They have said it, that a lot of them are dying. A lot of the people with AIDS are people with this homosexuality and so on. So they are running into extinction. So they want an opportunity to be on air, to be discussing it so that they could recruit people.
The law is just to ban
even in the US or places that they have even legalized it, they don't do it outside. When you do it outside, even in Ghana here, you can't urinate here. If you urinate, you can be arrested. You understand? But what I'm saying is that it is the advocacy that will have to ban. If you go to Nigeria, if you sit on radio and do it, you can be arrested and jailed. So you not even allow someone to come and sit on your platform to even talk about homosexuality. That is the reason the custodial sentence is very important.
Dangerous part we are all not checking is that these people are very smart. They've seen the reprehensible nature we are all against what they are doing. So now they go to some of our secondary schools, primary school, JHS, girls club, what club, mentorship club, what club. Let's watch out, parents, let's watch out for those clubs. Let's watch out for those clubs. Very, very, very important.
Richard, maybe you have a final take on this.
As a matter of principle, I believe sincerely that this is not something we should admonish. It is not something we should allow to fester. We should be able to fight it and talk about it, just like we are talking about Galamsey. Look at the video he showed about Elmina. They can't have water to drink. What kind of society are we trying to build? And then again, the argument is that the moment you are a country that is not self-sufficient, you are not self-dependent, you are depending on the West, the Bretton Woods institutions to be your financiers. You are depending on all manner of people to be financing you. You are not independent. That is why Kwame Nkrumah was telling you that your independence is nothing, virtually nothing, until you are economically independent, until you are able to feed yourself, until you are able to grow tomatoes and feed yourself, until you are able to grow corn and feed yourself, until you have industries, until you have economy that is buoyant. People, NDC promised a 24-hour economy, 1 job, 3 shifts. We need to do a lot of talking around these things. So now when we create sufficient jobs and people have money, then again, the country will not be running around helter-skelter begging for arms. So the argument about we allowing this thing to fester because they are doing it in the comfort of their home, in their privacy, who tells you so? Who told you? Have you ever seen any man and a woman sleeping and they are sleeping in a public place before? Have you ever seen it before? It is only even mad people don't sleep with themselves on the street. They hide in a corner. So what is this issue of privacy all about?
So they say they are doing it in private. How does it affect you?
That's why I'm telling you that
the moment they do it in their privacy and you allow it to fester, they think they are doing something that is prudent, something that is right. So they'll try to recruit many more people. Yeah. They'll try to engineer it and tell you that this is what we do, and the system society allows it.
Like we saw some individuals go take pictures at the
yes. So if you are doing it in privacy, if you're doing it in privacy and you say it is normal, they are doing it in their privacy, that means they are going to recruit many of your children to believe that whatever they are doing, you are doing it in the secrecy, so come and join us, do it in secrecy. So if you are building a society that is going to be revolving around secrecy, are you not becoming an occult society? Are you not becoming an occult society? So we must not allow it to fester in the first place. So then, we are waiting patiently. I believe in the fact that it is because of, you see, a workout there. When you see a worm crying, you are afraid. So because he knew very well that our leaders are not self-dependent, the country is not self-dependent, and he knew some could be the reason why Nana Akufo-Addo didn't ascend his signature. So he also believed that the same problem is there. That's why he doesn't believe that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will also append his signature when he gets to his table. But at least let us give him the benefit of the doubt.
To get to his table.
If he gets to his table and he doesn't sign it, then we can take him on. But now that he has not gotten to his table yet, let us give him the benefit of the doubt and expect that he will do something different from all the others that have done.
Let me just
ask, families.
Let me ask you this question. Let me just ask me. Do you think that, yes, we want to find reasons or factors that have contributed to this thing happening in our society? Of course, it's not the first time. He's been there. He's been there for a very long time. Do you think our society should also be blamed for how this has festered? Do you think parents, families, our schools, the various agencies that should be functioning and producing a society which is void of this, to some extent, must take the blame for what has happened?
Of course. And this was all engineered by the West. Like I said, we all went to boarding school. I was in a boys' boarding school, you understand? And in the boys' boarding school, even those days when we go to the bathroom, it's a big bath hall where we all go there, the boys are bathing. You will see sometimes the small boys, if you abhor it, that's why there's something called nature and nurture. In every individual being, your nature is what you were born with. It's embedded in you. So if your nature is that you abhor immorality, you abhor it from your very infancy. But how you are nurtured, the environment you are nurtured in also determines what final product you are going to become. So if you allow the society to be nurturing us, to be believing that if you are even into lesbianism and gayism and all these things, that's what the chunk of the money. Do you know that the richer people in the world? Do you know the gays and lesbians? Do you know they are so rich in the world?
They are not. They are not. It's a propaganda tool. But how many people? No, they are not. You tell me, top 10 millionaires in the world, are they gay? It's not true. You see, it's a propaganda that they have fed us in.
You don't understand.
You hear this, that they give people money and so on. Look at those that you have in our society today.
You are not understanding my point. Riches not as is to say.
But they are influential.
Yeah, kind of.
I'm saying that. Because they have people, the human rights people behind them, that's the reason they are influential. But I'm saying that they do not have money as people. It's one of the problems.
They are not yet. Jeff Bezos, they are not. The Mark Zuckerberg and co. Exactly. Obviously, they are not gays.
Top 50. They are not even gays.
Bill Gates and all those people.
But
the point is that because of the advent of social media.
Exactly.
The new media is what is fueling this whole thing the more.
That's true. And even the
that is the real problem
for people to even.
That is the real problem.
There is a radio station in this country, TV station in this country. They resurrect it almost all the time. You know. They will bring someone. They brought a former journalist from Metro TV to come and even express himself that he was.
Yeah.
They will give him the opportunity. Then
such a radio or TV. Exactly. The moment you do that, their license should be seized.
That is the reason we're saying that in the law, when you do even advocacy, when you discuss it on the radio station, you are liable.
Look, generations will come and take over from us. I keep saying we didn't start Ghana. Ghana started before we were all born. So what Ghana are we building? So if there is something going on today which we abhor, we must make sure we fight it and let the kids that are coming believe that
they will not even come and meet it.
They will not even come and meet it. Even if they come and meet it at all, they should know that when you try it, the law will deal with you. And if the law deals with you, you cannot survive.
In all of this, one of the things I find very interesting, and I always raise it when I engage some of my colleagues, that why is it that some countries in the West, when they engage China, it is not an issue of conversation?
Yeah.
When they
you don't even talk about it.
UAE,
when you talk about it,
when they engage,
no, you be killed.
They are not beggars.
They kill you.
They are not beggars.
Fundamentally,
They are not beggars.
that's the point. Fundamentally,
They are not beggars.
They're not beggars. But when they engage China, it doesn't come up. When they go to engage India, they don't talk about that. When they go engage
even Nigeria, even Nigeria,
when they go to
Rwanda,
Saudi Arabia, they don't talk about it. Why is that when they come to Ghana, they talk about it? They go to Uganda, they talk.
So it's not about economy.
It comes down exactly.
It's not about economy.
Economic independence.
Yes,
economic independence, and they know you have weak leaders.
Yes, it's about leadership because it's not economy. Because if it is economy, there are African countries that have abhorred it, and you are even killed if you are.
Well, Akonsi Gariba from Tamale says Sam George and his colleagues spoke. Okay, no, I think that was from yesterday. Akonsi, he says. What emboldening Fuseni, dishonest view about who becomes MPP chairman? He says, okay, whoever trusts the NDC will continue to do himself or herself disservice because those who made so much noise about LGBT and 24-hour economy have gone into hiding. In some regards to Dr. Bamia. Well, I hope I've opened the right message. Okay, this one says, good morning, K. Frimpong. The biggest problem we have in this country is the level of hypocrisy among us. The MPP government didn't sign the bill. That was why they were voted out. The current government, while in opposition, did everything possible to make issue out of this very bill. The NDC who accused the former government have been given the mandate, 10 months in office, and there's no commitment to sign the bill. Let's be honest. The NDC played politics with the LGBT bill and won power. Can the current government sign the bill? A big no, he says. They like their way to power. No government can sign that bill. We depend solely on foreign donors, and we all know our donors stand on this very
LGBT.
Interesting. This one says, I'm a national service person posted to DVLA head office.
Please.
He said, DVLA head office at Ladade Kotopon, Accra. I'm respectfully requesting consideration for a letter start date for LNSS. Sure. 3rd November 2025.
Don't bring yourself.
It's quite close. And being from the central region, I need time to secure accommodation in Accra before.
That is done within the 3 months.
Additionally, I humbly suggest reviewing the monthly allowance of 715 Ghana cedis.
That I agree.
And it's quite challenging to cope with the current cost of living.
Write a petition to the finance minister because we are still pushing.
But at least
we are also pushing.
Oh, yeah. We've made a fair wages committee.
Give them 1,000 cedis.
Three times already.
I'll give them 1,000 cedis.
We are hoping the finance minister will capture it in the.
1,200.
But even the first date is not the date that we all start. It's with the registration.
At least 1,200.
So you said they are pushing.
At least by January.
At least 1,000.
We are taking 500. So if you get 1,000 cedis,
at least 1,500. 1,200 crowd wouldn't be bad.
We took 3.
United Party.
I took 332 or something.
Wow. 332. This said he took 332.
Yeah, 332.
He said those putting pressure on the current government over the LGBT bill should have faith in President Mahama. He's not like Akufo-Addo who played to the gallery and failed to sign the bill when Parliament passed it. Now that the anti-LGBT bill has been laid, I strongly believe President Mahama will do the needful by assenting to it once it reaches the table. The MPP should be the last group to make noise about this. My regards to Chief of Staff, Julius Debra. Okay. Good morning. He says, Dache watching from Ejumako. He says, just imagine Mohammed Awal being the vice president to Afenyo Makin. What a country we will have. Let's fight this fight together in a moral way, he says. He said, I thought the priority in Ghana was to stop galamsey and for the law to mine in reserve forest repealed. About a month ago, we saw a senior teacher in the SHS abusing a young student girl. There was an outcry and people called for tightening of the law to protect young girls. What has changed? That all we care about now is anti-LGBT. What happened to the fight against galamsey? Is this our greatest priority? Yes.
It's all part of it. It is all part of it.
I asked this question on the show.
Morality is key to building every society.
Yeah, he said.
Very. Oh, you don't know?
He says, anyway, he said, the NDC man accused the former president about the LGBT. Now, what has changed? He says, the NDC should not change anything in the bill. They should pass and sign it the same way. If you change the form, you are not fair to the Ghanaian people. Suleiman from Navrongo says that. And those are the messages we have. Well, the question about whether this is the priority, whether this should be a priority, is a conversation that we'll continue to have. Richard says yes, it's a priority because it's a moral issue because, and all of that.
It determines who ruled this country. The NDC used it, especially in Zongo. You are a Muslim. Even on the pulpit, the imams were campaigning for Mahama, saying that they should vote for Mahama so that he can come and sign it.
Well, let's see. Let's see how.
Let's give him the chance. Let's give him the chance. He's ready. Sign it.
10 months, bar. 10 months.
10 months. Have you made
When government take over, there are a plethora of issues to deal with. Okay. So it could be some of them.
It's not a priority.
No, but when you have an economy that was bequeathed to you.
So someone is asking, why is this a priority? Why should this?
You had an economy that
was turning the corner.
I want to say thank you to Royal King Cracker. Thank you very much for
turning the corner.
We really appreciate you.
I thought we were going to say the economy was at the peak.
I hope you've gotten a bite of it. I hope you've gotten a bite of it, and you're going to continue enjoying it throughout the day. So, and also to Franco Trading Enterprise, thank you very much for supporting us this morning.
Tell them they should be sharing some for
with
us.
on Prime Morning.
Should have added some 90 to the
should be tasting talking about
it's your birthday.